Hey guys, first let me apologize for my appearance. I'm making this as right as I wake up. I was going to make this last night, and I decided I should sleep on it for a little while, maybe calm myself down. It's not, it Morgan doesn't know I'm doing this. This is a real rough and dirty video that I'm making real quick. As you can tell from my appearance, my hair's messed up, and I just woke up. And there's a lot of thoughts I'm having about the line right now that I wanted to talk about, and a lot of it stems from just the feelings I've been having for the past little while. About the Masters of the Universe Classics line and where I think it's going and how I don't like it. And I think that this is the best way to do that. I was going to write something or things like that, but I would rather do it this way. And so it all kind of came to a head for me with this Sir Lazer-Lot thing. I realize I'm a grown man and I collect toys, but I'm not the only one. And I decided I needed to take a day to try to get my thoughts in order so I'd be coherent when I talk about this, but all these emotions and stuff are flooding back to me right now, so I'm gonna have to just kind of talk about it as I feel it, and I hope that it's understandable when I get done. I spent some time in Britain, and they have a saying for it, and I feel like I'm not a cursor. I don't swear as a practice. I don't I don't use language like that if I can help it, and I'm going to try to keep this PG-13, but I learned a phrase while I was over there. I spent some time over there, and I think it fits well with this. I think they're taking the piss with Sir Lazer-Lot. I don't. This whole 30th line is really starting to piss me off, and I'm sorry about the language, and I don't. If you have kids or whatever, I should have said before, but I don't understand why, and as I listen to myself say this, I'm thinking of one of those crazy people on the internet that they start freaking out about something silly, like not getting their cloud song on some game, whatever. But this is something that's very special to me, and I don't understand why how come the fans are the only ones that see that this is not a good character? Like, everybody knows that what Masters of the Universe is. Everybody understands what a figure should look like. And, there's certain criteria that should be met. Jeff Johns, he's a good writer. I don't know why he was brought in for the 30th line. I don't understand what he has to do with Masters of the Universe. I heard somewhere he's a collector. So am I. Nobody asked me for my opinion. I don't, okay, he has a big following with comics, but that figure is horrible. It is so bad. And it's not bad in like a good, like, this is terrible and I've got to have it kind of way. It's bad as in I didn't put any effort in bad. Like, I can not like stuff but still appreciate it. This is not an appreciable character or figure or anything. It's okay. It's a medieval knight. Did that exist on Eternia? I don't think it did. I don't think medieval ages existed on Eternia. And his name is Sir Lazer. Okay, here's how I found out about the character. When Toy Fair was going on, Pixelated Daniel was posting all these things, and he said the 30th anniversary line, they just revealed his name's Sir Lazer-Lot. I didn't see a picture of it or or you know, I saw the picture afterwards. I saw the name and I thought, oh, this is going to be terrible because it's Sir Lazer-Lot. It couldn't, you know, a better if you could. There's certain criteria when you're making as a general rule. If you make a Masters of the Universe character figure, the name is, you know, a name and then OR, like, you know, Skeletor, Keldor, or it has man in it, like Man-at-Arms, Merman, Beastman, He-Man, things like that, which is silly. We understand it's silly. And I'm going to get back to that in a second about how we know certain things are silly because they're using that as an excuse to make silly figures now. But you can't do that now. You can only do it back to, but anyway, I'll get back to that. You could have called him Lazor, or you could have called him, you know, anything else. Lazor would have been okay. But you can, Sir Lazer-Lot? Like we're like, oh, like Sir Lancelot because he's a knight. Yeah, we get it, but it's patronizing us. It's condescending. It's stupid, and we're not going to keep taking that type of treatment. We're going to stop buying things. And that would break my heart when the line ends. It's going to, because this is such a fantastic thing for us, you know, nostalgia collectors, and that's what we are. But we're not going to just keep treated like that. And I'm, you know, George Lucas found that out too. I thought I'm going to have a lot of Star Wars references because that's the easiest way I can equate it, is that to get back to why we can accept the stupid stuff from the vintage line is because when it came out, we were kids. That's why, because when we were kids, we didn't know any better. It wasn't until we were already established fans and we got older that we realized these characters were not great, especially towards the end. But because the glare of, you know, mediocrity and the glare of bad creationism, is that a thing? The glare of the, you know, the how bad the characters got when the line started to end was shaded by the goggles of nostalgia as we got older. We understand now that Rio Blast and Ninjor and I Don't Like Snout Spout and things like that, those were bad characters. But we were kids when those came out, and we don't understand that those were bad characters then. They were characters that they put in to try to sell the line. And here's a little tip when you're saying, well, you know, they had cowboys in Eternia, so we can have time-traveling ninjas. Well, the thing is, back then, they didn't help, did they? When the line, when they were starting to bring these things out, at the end of the line, sales plummeted. And, you know, I think those had something to do with that. So you can't use an excuse as, well, they had terrible figures back in the 80s, so we're going to make terrible figures now. You can't do that because the line's going to end. The history is going to repeat. The same thing's going to happen. So stop saying that. Don't, you know, just make good figures. George Lucas found out when he wanted to make Star Wars again. The fans hated it. But, you know, he didn't care. It's the same type of thing. I'm not going to go see the new 3D Phantom Menace because the Phantom Menace sucks. And it's so bad that I can't take it. I can't take that kid. I hate Jar Jar Binks. And I don't understand why it had to be so bad. It's George Lucas. You know, bring Irvin Kershner in again and see what he can do. It's, you know, that's the thing. The 30th line is, I'm not, you know, I'm complaining now, and I shouldn't be complaining about the 30th line because the 30th line is what it is. I hate that phrase. Everything is what it is. So I try not to use that phrase, but anyway, it's whatever you guys are making it, and you somehow have free license to do whatever you want. But Mark Taylor should have been brought in to make figures. Roger Sweet should have been brought in to make. Paul Cleveland should have been brought in to make figures. All these people that are on the line now didn't make the 30th anniversary happen. It was the people from before. And Yeah, I mean, I understand you had all your thing making this line now, and I'm really the thing that bothers me the most about this whole thing is I'm a Mattel apologist. I've been the guy who said, well, let's just give them a chance. Yeah, I understand people are having problems with customer service. I understand figures are terrible. Their arms are breaking, and I mean the legs are breaking, and the shoulders are reversed. And how can Mattel have such bad quality control? And how can they do things like that? But I'm the guy that's like, let's give them a chance. I mean, I'm just glad to be getting a new figure every month. Sometimes I'm getting 6 figures a month. I can't afford that. That's another thing you need to look into. But I digress. But you can't. You just gotta stop it. You have to stop it. Seriously. When this whole Sir Lazer-Lot comes, I mean, okay, Mighty Spector, I would have done it differently, but, you know, Mr. Nightlick and all of his stuff, that's his thing. And I, see him here on the videos. I think he gets it that we don't like it. And he has a good sense of humor about it, and I can appreciate that out of somebody. I mean, if I designed a figure and nobody liked it, but it was getting made anyway, I think I would have a pretty good sense of humor about it. And I'm glad he does. I'm glad, that makes me respect the figure more, that he realizes it's like Deadpool, and he makes a joke about wearing a Deadpool costume to the San Diego Comic-Con costume contest. I get it. That's good, and that makes me appreciate the figure more. But I just feel like they're making fun of us as collectors and He-Man fans with the Sir Lazer-Lot figure, and it bothers me to no end that nobody thought during the whole quality control issue, like Jeff Johns just gets to do whatever he wants. I don't understand that. I don't understand why nobody said, hey, Mr. Johns, this looks like a medieval Superman, and you've maybe put some furry shorts on him, or take that helmet off and make it a little bit different, more Viking-esque rather than medieval, or whatever. Come up with something, because that is not good. And I feel like you're making fun of me by making me buy that. Like, you've got to buy this because you're locked into the 30th sub, which is a whole nother thing that I wish I never had at this point. Unless something fantastic comes out for the last 6 or 3 figures, or however many there are, I'm upset, and it upsets me that I'm upset because I want this line to be fantastic, and I think that that's the main problem you guys have, is that you don't realize the fans want it to be good, and they want you to succeed. The only reason that we criticize, and I wasn't a criticizer up to this point. You've done this to me. So the only reason that we criticize is that we understand how good it could be if I don't want to say more effort, because a lot of effort goes into this. I understand. I believe Scott Knight when he talks about how much work he puts into it, and the things he does in his off hours, answering our questions and things like that. But how come nobody said to Jeff that this is a terrible figure, or just like, maybe we can do this? You don't have to tell somebody it's bad. You could say it would be better if we did this. I mean, there's ways to go about it, and I don't understand it. There's tons of people at Mattel that could say to Jeff, hey, I mean, we can't be the only ones that realize this is not a good figure. We can't be the only ones that realize this is terrible. We just can't. How could we be the only ones? I mean, we don't just hate stuff to hate it. We want Masters of the Universe to be great. I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling on. So, I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. I just wanted to get my feelings out, talk about that. We're going to make a different video tonight and bring Morgan in. I'm not going to tell her that I made this video or whatever. I'm just going to post this anonymously. I hope she never sees it, because I try not to get crazy around the kids. But I don't know. I don't know what's up with that thing. I guess I'm just resigned to the fact that I have to buy it, because I'm locked into the line, even though it's a terrible figure. I mean, I'm almost, I was thinking, I'll just put it on eBay, but I'm almost tempted just to keep it, because I could say this was the worst figure of all time ever created. No, I have no offense. I'm not trying to offend anybody by saying things like that, especially if you like it. that's great for you, but I don't understand how, especially with that name. I mean, and the figure design could have been so much better. I just feel like no effort was put into it, and that's what hurts me the most is that I feel like I'm being made fun of because this figure, they're just like, well, you know, they're grown men that collect He-Man toys, and they'll buy this. Stick it in there. Sir Lazer, yeah. Just throw some blue paint on this guy. It looks like medieval Superman. He looks just like it's the. Hey Jeff, he's the most recognizable comic book character of all time. You bring a picture of Sir Lazer-Lot to some kid in China who, you know, doesn't work at the factory where these are made, and you show him the picture, and who is this? This is Superman in a medieval outfit. Everybody in the world, Russia, India, everybody knows Superman. So if you're going to throw a Superman design onto a Masters of the Universe figure and call him Sir Lazer-Lot, we're all going to get it. We're all going to see it. We're all going to understand. And it's not... I don't like talking like this because I'm an upbeat person. I don't like talking down to somebody. I don't like telling people that I don't like their stuff because I'm an appreciator. I want things to succeed. I have hope for the future, and I don't like telling anybody I don't like their stuff. A lot of things I don't like, but I just keep that to myself. Why can't I do that? But I can't do that with this figure because you're making fun of me, and I don't appreciate it. So anyway, I'll end it there. Hopefully my thoughts were coherent and people understood. But it was my son's birthday, so if you're wondering why there's happy birthday balloons behind me during this whole rant, that's why. My hair's a mess, and I look like I belong in an insane asylum screaming at a camera on a computer. But anyways, that's my thoughts on these reviews. I mean, Spycore is great. Frosta, people don't like the face, but I don't mind the face. It could be better. I've seen better interpretations of the face, but, whatever. Even the Mighty Spectre I can respect now because Scott understands. I said all this before. Anyway, I'm rambling. All right. Thanks for watching if you've got this far, and leave me a comment about what you think about what I said. Anyway, all right.